Welcome. My name is Matt, aka Road Jedi 88. We're getting into Star Wars, Galaxy of Heroes, mods. Shaak T. Shaak T is a Jedi. She is first introduced to us in both the movie and book, Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. She makes repeated appearances in the Clone Wars TV series, and I don't believe we actually necessarily see her in the movie, The Revenge of the Sith. However, it is suggested that Anakin Skywalker, when he converts to Darth Vader, may have actually killed her in the temple during Order 66. There is supposedly a deleted scene on the matter, so I wouldn't rule it out. And it's been a while since I read this book. This book is, you know, when that gets to cringing during Order 66 or through a chunk of that movie, the book is even darker. It is very depictive, very descriptive. They sugarcoated the movie in comparison to the book. And this isn't the first time they've had a very dark Star Wars story. There's maybe a couple books even in the Young Jedi Knight book series that gets pretty dark. But Shaak T is also a Togruta species, which is the same species as what Ahsoka Tano is. She is the same species family as Ahsoka. So we had two of that species that we know of right off the bat that were within the Jedi Order, before Order 66. Shaak T obviously was much older than Ahsoka, probably kind of a species mentor for Ahsoka, or role model for Ahsoka to look up to, if you look at it that way. They basically share similar tribal essence as that of the Tusken Raiders. Not entirely the same, just, but close to it. They're very tribal in nature. Native, almost like Native Americans sense. Tusken Raiders were the same way. I wouldn't go off of what they suggested in Book of Boba Fett about them in comparison to what the Young Jedi Knight book series suggests about Tusken Raiders. Luke does actually recruit a Tusken youngling girl who was force sensitive, but he definitely had to go through a bit of a process with them too. They did not make it easy for him. But Shaak T and Ahsoka, based on their species, they're kind of similar to that of what you can view the Tusken Raiders as, almost. So coming back to Shaak T, if you go to my first character mods playlist video, where I definitively break down the various different types of character roles, as well as the various different types of mods, defining their purpose, and explaining what it is we're doing when we're applying mods to certain characters. That was for anyone where, when they first take a look at the mods, it just feels like it's going way over their head. It kind of did to me too when I first looked at these. I grew up in the 90s generation, and we didn't exactly have a whole lot of games where we had to do these deep, defining mods to any games, back in my days. But I'm trying to go that approach, but there we are. Anyways, but yeah, so with this game, it's a generational game, where they do imply mods as part of your character building, and for some people it can kind of go over their heads. So even I've had to do my homework and kind of study these out. And I'm still having to learn them. But as I'm learning and going along, I'm passing this on, because I have seen other mod playlist video walkthroughs where they just say, slap these mods on kind of thing, and it's like, why? Why am I throwing these mods on? What is it doing for my character? What is it doing for me in a battle? And so that's what I'm hoping I'm breaking down. And also taking the time to get to know the characters as well. I feel like play can help play a factor as well. If not for the game purpose, shoot, at least for personal interest. Um, but nothing else. Shaak T in the swgoh.gg online website, which is just a fan statistical preference based on statistics of what the fans prefer. They are kind of coinciding with the in-game tips, which is speed and health. However, when you're modding, you have to take their abilities into account. I'm seeing things for physical damage. She is a support character. I'm seeing things for stealth, so health, sure, or tenacity is another possibility. Speed, health. Okay, so I'm seeing the cohesiveness in the suggestion there. So, and once in a while, I've seen the swgoh.gg, share the same in-game tips, but then I question if just how legitimate that statistical preference is, because I also question how often a certain character is even utilized, or if there's a possibility that a character might be undervalued because it's underutilized. Never know. When you got characters with big name drops, or certain squads with certain battle ability features that draws the attention away, it can kind of undervalue a certain character that might not deserve it. Never know. But Shaak T, yeah, speed and health does seem to be, in this case, cohesive with her abilities. If not health, you could probably go with tenacity. By definition, tenacity means not easily torn apart, which means she's going to be more durable. It makes her more durable. She's a support character. So you can have her support like a tank role type character with that tenacity. Or in this case, since it does seem like she's really looking after the welfare of her squad, health does play a factor. It is evident that it's playing a factor. Some might suggest going triple health with her. I don't know if that's the best suggestion, because as a support character who needs to be able to move, you need her able to fight also. That speed also kind of taps her into attacker role character abilities. It allows her to be able to defend herself and also put out damage to the character, to the opponent. Not just only focus on the health and well-being of her team. But health mods, I don't know so much defense mods, but if you wanted to trade the health mods for anything, I would say tenacity. If you wanted to trade the speed out for anything, I would say critical damage. But those are just kind of personal suggestions. You can also have secondary, tertiary loadouts assigned that you can cycle around. Right down in here. Just in case, depending on the type of character opponents you go up against, what kind of battle you're going into. Whatever you get of a prelude warning of what you're going up against, well, they allow you to get to see what kind of character you're going up against, allowing you to prepare your characters for that battle. So, speed and health, I will agree with. But taking into consideration the other suggestions I've made, if not health, tenacity, if not speed, critical damage, there are also other possibilities. But that is Shaak T's mods for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Subscribe to the channel, like the videos, comments, questions, suggestions down below. And thank you for following. May the Force be with you.